I'm sure many of you knew I was going to do a video about this, of course. Didn't want to go ahead and do my setup because I do want to kind of show you guys the video. We're not going to really watch it, but the topic of today's discussion is this. Everybody's an activist, and unfortunately, there's not really any sort of thing that you can pay attention to. No subculture, nothing that you could be a part of that does not consider the politics. So, of course, ESPN is zeroing in on LeBron James, talking about these social issues, and here's what we get. And I'm not a guy, I've talked about this about LeBron before, I'm not one of those shut up and dribble guys. I believe you absolutely have every right to be outspoken and to speak about things that are important to you, no matter, it doesn't matter if you're an athlete or not. The thing is that it doesn't matter if you are, let's say, a popular athlete, entertainer, celebrity, whatever. Of course, you have a following in those positions, and it doesn't equal smart. It doesn't equal thorough. It doesn't equal logical. It just means that your message can get out there to a wide variety of different people. LeBron, in terms of what he had just said in this here post, is complete and utter nonsense. But it is some ideas that we have to kind of tap into the psyche here a little bit. But he says we are scared as black people in America. Black men, black women, black kids, we are terrified. That's what LeBron is saying, that we're black people, we're terrified, we're scared. Of course, I do not share such a position, and I don't want to say he's on his own with that, but he is speaking for himself and maybe a few other people, but he's certainly not speaking for all black people. So this whole idea, this is a powerful message because he's highlighting this. And if you don't know the story, we've talked about it. I have talked about it actually over Blaze as well. And the shooting that took place among, police officers and this guy, which as of this time I shot this video, I believe he didn't end up passing, but he was shot like 7 times or something nuts like that. But my issue with what LeBron said is this sort of perpetual victimhood kind of thing where he feels as if it's like the war is me. I'm black, I'm scared, I'm attacked. And what that does is a lot of people come out of that creating these invisible enemies, like these enemies that aren't even there. They're not even a thing. Now, that doesn't mean there aren't instances of police brutality or anything like that. Of course not. I'm not saying that. They exist. And now you're not going to find anybody, including LeBron James, who is in opposition to the state like I am, because LeBron James isn't against the state. He is just your typical leftist statist. That's all it's just about the right people beating up the right people, not the idea that these guys have the power to do such a thing. That's his problem. Nonetheless, I have a big time issue with this. Because what it does is kind of this like we need protection. Black folks need protection, and it's all about the begging. And this is why a lot of people green light the whole idea of this lashing out. So when people go burn a business that has nothing to do with it, it's okay because they're mad and they're scared. No, I'm an individual. That's all. And I don't feel like I'm under attack. I'm not scared to be black. I'm not one of those. And I live in the South. You know what I'm saying? Like I live in a spot, and I have my entire life that you guys would think that if there was going to be the more racism existing, what black people should be scared, it'd be where I'm at. Now, I'm not the one try to say other people's experiences are other people's experiences. You know what I mean? Like if you go around acting scared, I think that you should, on a serious note, revise your approach to racism and revise your approach to being a black person in this country, because it's a lot more to that than just going around being scared because you saw an instance of an unfortunate event, and that is someone got shot. It's funny because I just covered a story before today about the guy in Arizona. I did a video about, and he was the guy that got killed in front of his home by two officers. Of course, he was a white guy, and it's not as sexy. Let's say that it's not as you're not going to get people up in a media frenzy because of that. Of course, with this being a black person, we have to continue to perpetuate this idea like this problem is almost exclusively a black problem. Like there aren't other things. Even when you look at numbers, man, there's a million different things that can go into. If you do see a disproportionate rate, there's a million different things that could go into this because we aren't robots, right? We all act, and even if there are similarities among different races and stuff, it's so many different things that can go into why that's the case. You never find me excusing black police brutality or people being killed or anything. I do think that y'all have, and this is kind of one of the things that I highlighted when I was talking about this, is that you guys have on different sides of this, whether you're pro or anti-police, have completely unrealistic expectations of that institution, right? And I think that's part of the problem. That's part of the problem. It happens on people that are pro-police and anti-police, is that they have completely unrealistic expectations that they place upon them. And that's not me like trying to even defend the cops. I'm just saying that's actually part of the problem, and why people put so much faith in that institution in the first place. It stems around that. It's just unrealistic expectation that they are saviors because they are authority figures that were given this shiny new badge. But LeBron James is out of his mind if he thinks this applies to all black people. I mean, we as black people are feeling this kind of way. Now not you might be feeling that way. And it's funny because, look, you know what they're doing. They're not stupid. You know, these guys are rich and they want to be sure that you know that they're down with the cause. Fists in the air, right? They're like you. Just got way more money than you, and LeBron's probably never going to experience what you got to experience as a just a normal black person, right? Or a normal white person for that matter, because he got way more money than you, and it's offered way more protection. These guys are literally able to do what they do in a bubble, right? A literal bubble right now. But he's talking about he's scared. I'm like, dog, if you live in the way you live in and you scared, that's a psychological problem. Maybe a philosophical problem, but there's something wrong with you. But seriously, man, I really don't like that this is kind of the thing. A lot of white leftists run with that, and this is why they come try to be captain, save a black man, because it's like, well, oh my God, they're under attack. They're scared. They're terrified. And of course, we don't know better. They think they know better. So they come and try to position themselves as the ally of the black man. And I find all of this funny, definitely coming from a man of confidence, right, that he had supposedly been reading, right, Malcolm X. Maybe he just didn't get to the part to really understand what Malcolm was talking about for much of his career as a public figure, if you want to call him that. But just being purely just scared as to be a black person. No, I think a lot of black people want dignity and have more dignity about themselves to even live like that. To even live like that, to even like wake up thinking like, man, I am scared because I'm a black man. It's not anything that runs through my head. It's just simply not. Not in America. Now, I can't speak for people in other areas, and I'm not going to even try to speak for every individual in America. I do think that a lot of this is overblown and exaggerated. People try to find, this is why concepts like microaggressions and stuff exist, because people got to go fishing for certain forms of racism, right? But everybody has to try to take everybody else's experiences and make it theirs. So no matter how isolated an event may be, it's like, well, this is me. This is my life. Oh, woe is me. I am attacked because I am a black man. And I'm scared. I'm terrified. Nah, I'm not scared. I'm not terrified. Concerned, possibly. But, I'm sure every race, every individual has they're going to be concerned about something. But to be terrified of just being black in America is complete exaggeration to apply that to every black person. But that certainly is an idea that a lot of folks that LeBron James tries to support certainly from a political standpoint, would have you believe because it positions themselves as heroes. There's nobody there to save, right? And definitely if they can liberate themselves, doesn't create for a very climactic storyline, right? There's no climax there. But they got to position themselves as heroes. But that's why they want you to be a victim so bad. And there's probably going to be a guy in the comments that's factually, did I just say that? Is that even a thing that people can say? If you can say factually, I just said it. It's like this weirdo right here who said, you speaking for yourself as well. Are you not? LOL, y'all be doing too much to please racists. Of course, I think this is one of these light-skinned cats, right? Yeah, it's one of these high yellow guys that you see from far away that, be the loudest about racism. I mean, you see far away. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell if they white or black or something else if they 20 feet away from you. Nonetheless, I'm not down talking my mixed folk out there, my light-skinned folks. Got light-skinned people in my family. I'm just saying. It's a little jab there. Nah, but seriously, this fool, he says, we doing too much for races. And the only conclusion that you can draw from this position is that because I am not terrified, and I'm thinking that LeBron is speaking for himself when he says he's terrified, indicating that I'm not terrified, I'm somehow trying to please racists because being a non-terrified black person means that you're trying to appease racists. Trying to please racists. So when you see a comment like that, you kind of understand the depth that this is, because this guy says this like LOL laugh emoji, crying laughing emoji. This is who these kind of guys are, right? That they, and again, I just don't believe that that's a good kind of idea, a good position, good way to live your life. So LeBron, you're on your own. Not you're on your own. I don't want to say you're on your own. I keep wanting to say that. I will say you were speaking for yourself, and that position is going to be shared by other people. But you certainly ain't speaking for black people in general. Also, I'd encourage you to read just a little more about Brother Malcolm X. That's all.